Yeah, I ditched my Coke bottle government glasses there, and from the military days. You know, if I ever had to see without glasses, I could kind of see a little bit. There's actually aperture glasses you can have, which is basically a little hole in a stick of wood. I think the Inuit discovered that. They use them for snow blindness, preventive. But I've done that. I've like, if you look through a little tiny hole, even with your hand, things get back into focus a little bit. But I don't really have the luxury of making a lot of videos, so it's a time-based scenario. So if you're missing ingredients, your recipe's not gonna come out right. And I'm missing a lot of time. So anyway, I did want to make a little mention of this Kern's Peach Nectar. The design of the can has changed. I thought it was like guava or something because I saw pink or whatever. This peach one, and I'm not real sure like where they're made here anymore. But you're supposed to shake them before opening, and they taste like peach cobbler. They're delicious, super nice. There's a store in Colfax, Washington called Rosars. They sell them for about 88 cents a piece. So I bought 3 of them. They go good with cheap meat. I'm just saying I was chewing on some when I started the video. So yeah, just want to mention that. Make a little record that I like these. I'd like to get them by the case, but just whether it's me not doing it or me not able to do it, I haven't figured that out yet. Yeah, these aren't carbonated or anything. So yesterday I put up a ask me what they call AMAs. Ask me anything. Nobody asked me nothing. No questions on nothing. Which I understand. Like, I was following this really interesting artist on Instagram, and she put up something like an anonymous thing where you could ask her anonymous stuff. Not a bunch of questions, but people they're afraid to be judged by what they ask, and they just don't ask. Did I put something on there? Yeah, I did. I was like, your drawings make me want to marry you. That was anonymous, and then she's like, no, I'm already betrothed to this cosplayer. I mean, how do you deflect a question or a comment like that? That's not pretty skilled. But appreciation is cheap. It's money that costs time, effort, labor, and aggravation. But yeah. So what I've noticed at this particular university is the parking is atrocious. They charge a lot of money for parking passes that don't work. What I mean by that is too many people have them or something, and you just can't find parking. So here you pay for parking and you can't find parking. They have a few buildings here on campus which are parking garages with the building on top. That's the design I need to do. Don't build any more buildings without parking garages. But then they screwed the parking garage and make it too expensive for students or whatnot to use it. And so The great unwashed masses have to park way out in the middle of nowhere in the hot sun. That's a figure of speech. I'm sure we get washed occasionally. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy to be alive. Don't know when that's not gonna happen anymore. And like a lot of vehicles, you have to keep using them for them to stay functional. I think people are like that way too. Like if I'm not used, even for just things I don't like, it starts to become dysfunctional. So as long as like I have a modicum of moderate stress and abuse and everything, I seem to be functioning. But you take all that away, I start to get dysfunctional. Kind of like a vehicle that sits too long, it starts falling apart. So I think there's something in our physiological uh, operation where we have to have things and challenges, or else we deteriorate. So don't be so in a hurry to retire. I've seen a lot of retirees; their mind is deteriorated from disuse. They don't have to think themselves out of problems anymore. They basically solved all their problems more or less, and their brain becomes like a vestigial organ where it starts. What's the fancy word for things that shrink away? Um, Speaking of brains that shrink away and they're no longer fully functional, atrophy. Yeah, so their brains start to atrophy because they're not being challenged. Their day-to-day existence is covered. You know, like I notice muscles I use. If I use them, they become stronger, more resilient. But if I don't, they go away. It's like your body continuously uses resources as efficiently as possible. No extraneous um, musculature or anything like that. Just enough to get you through things, more or less. I would not doubt that extends to your mind and mental process as well. If you don't continuously use them, in the shortcut of that is being challenged by non anticipatable crap scenarios. If you're not continuously hit with those, you may be happier, but you may be less dynamic as a result. But I've seen a lot of folks with deteriorated minds. They don't seem to notice. Maybe you can't self-diagnose or self monitor your decline. Maybe it's like you don't know what's not there anymore. However, there are people that realize they can't remember things. Like they'll admit that they'll have a conversation and they'll forget what they're talking about. There's some of that self-realization going on. But I guess if your mind goes, majority of cases it doesn't hurt. Oops. It's like a painless deterioration, I guess. Okay, that's about it. Let's get going. It's been Military Industrial Museum. Apologize for all the chaos. I'm just keeping that real without keeping it so real that it would impart make the dysfunction contagious. You're getting the veneer. You're not getting the solid teak wood version.